Uh, Great for having you. Welcome to Lift99, whoever is not a part of community. I'm actually not enjoying standing too high. It's better to be on the same level as you guys. So, I'm Dmitry, founder of Frank for AI, and I'm almost Estonian already. After almost 6 years being there in Tallinn, originally from Poland. In this talk, we'll have very simple relationship. So I'll try to share something that I think is useful, that we checked with our customers, and which is research-based. And if you are curious about anything I'm sharing, just raise your hand. We can interrupt the whole thing and have a small side or following conversation into more details on something that you're immediately curious about. We'll have an extra microphone here, so this will be a more co-leading by you and me this session, right? And there will be also a part with live demo, and the live demo thing is something that makes me always nervous, so I can use more us as whatever, and I can sometimes shake. But then video editing will, and AI will figure out everything with my voice and video, and you also guys. So don't think about this, and I'm also not trying to think about that. We'll start with this very small poll, which will be running through the whole presentation, like with the QR code here, and then will be later also a QR code here. On the next slide. And yeah, we'll start with one number, which is 86%. It's a number coming out of the big study we ran on more than 270 brands on how AI models disagree on the same question you ask different models. You just keep on asking the same questions. Today, yesterday, tomorrow, you just repeat this. You can do it manually, you can do it automatically, you can do it in multiple languages, which is very tricky part. So, whose language here is Estonian? The native one? Okay, and then we probably have some other languages. We had Japanese, we had Russian, we have maybe Spanish or like Turkish, yes. Italian, okay. So the thing is that the models, when you have a conversation with AI, with Gemini or ChatGPT, whatever it is, Perplexity, they'll give you a different answer if you ask in different language, the same thing. It's not just the same language, it's also different language. So this is the number which we ran through the study, and we know about it. So there will be 3 surveys and in one room happening with the polls between. So starting with the first one, have you ever asked any of this, ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexities, about your own brand? Or about yourself, if you don't have a brand? So if you can quickly start answering, we'll just see. Yeah, and I'll also be a part of this. Okay. 12 people. We have more people in this room. 16. Oh, gosh. Oh, wow. That's a race. 20 people. What do you think about the results? Predictable. So once out of curiosity, you were curious. Okay, I should have asked, when did you ask? Year ago, 6 months ago, yesterday? It's another important dimension. 29% never. Then there are people who track it systematically and regularly, but it makes them uncomfortable. That's one is interesting. Who answered that this is uncomfortable for them? Okay, This can be also a system if you do it once per quarter, but regularly. We do it once per month usually, being systematic in it. And the thing is that you know why you're doing this. Because when you do the same in Google, you will have the same answer usually, or the position will change, but the answer will be the same, the meaning will be the same, unless it's a AI overview answer. Because AI overview answer in Google, #1 result now, it's actually the same answer you would get in having Gemini conversation. It's been stitched from multiple pieces, from whatever sources, which are very dependent on the language and brands and industries and other things that I'll share later. And Google also constantly tries to minimize their spend on energy, on bills, on electricity. Because when you have the answer stitched from multiple sources, it means the more sources it needs to use from the live results, the higher bill will be, the more tokens they will spend. So the token economy is enormous. What's going on with token economy now? The token economy, with every update of with every model, like Claude 4.6, Claude 4.7, everything gets worse. In our understanding, it's getting worse, in meaning that you need to pay more. They're putting gates on everything. You're not able to use it automatically anymore. The same goes with Gemini, the same goes with ChatGPT and all of them. All of them are minimizing the spend. So the minimization of the spend is happening because the rules of how the brand is being presented in the digital space, in the internet, are rewritten. And the big players rewrite them constantly to their own rules. So OpenAI, they're running in US bidding campaigns, testing, bidding for ads in chat conversations, in ChatGPT. Google announced that they're hiring GEO, Generative Engine Optimization Manager, in LA now. So they're looking for the best people to build relationship with brands, enterprises, corporates, marketing agencies. There is a reason behind this, right? So everything is being created from scratch. So the answers that you receive, they are not predictable in a classic way because AI and LLMs are undeterministic. You can only win with math and stats. So whoever has chance to choose a subject in university or in school, better study stochastics, math, all of those hard stuff, and better you know what does it mean, you know, cosine similarity, right? Better you know what means finding the density of information within the graphs and all of those. Because only this is the way to predict how you, being in one, another, or third industry, can win in Gemini. So we made a study on CEE brands, and we learned that every big brand which is present in AI space has a different sentiment which is dependent on the local language. You probably know most of those brands because at least half of them are present there in Estonia. Revolut, Vinted, Wise, Weezer, Volt, Mall Group when you drive through some countries and you want to fuel your car, Reserved with the clothing, Notina with perfumes, Kiwi for booking flights, Asset for cybersecurity, I think the oldest cybersecurity company from Slovakia, CD Projekt, whoever plays Witcher and Cyberpunk and other games, Bolt, of course, CCC for shoes and clothing, etc. So in every language, their reputation is different. And there is also a reason for this. Unfortunately, Uralic languages, or Estonian and Hungarian, they show the highest risk also for being inconsistently represented by AI. Why is it so? Because the language corpus is small and you cannot teach a lot about the whole life, civilization, and everything just using these sources available to AI in these languages. It means that when you ask AI something in Estonian or in Hungarian or in many other languages, it will still use some of the sources which are not from the local market. So the bigger brand you are, the harder time you have, because you need to manage all of these languages and markets separately. That was a very short intro. Now I'm getting into more specifics. So different words length means also a different story in different language. Wherever you ask something, AI replies you, and then it uses tokens, of course, to build the story. So in English, for example, it can build the answer using as much as 472 words on average to reply to one of these thousands of prompts we've asked in multiple languages about these brands. If it's Latvian, Estonian, Hungarian, whatever, you see that it uses much less words. But does it mean that the answer is better? You don't know it. Does it mean that the answer is sharper? You don't know it. You need to test it. So we tried it with Bolt. For example, in Estonia, Bolt has a positive sentiment, neutral to positive sentiment. Their reputation is positive because it's an Estonian company. They are supported very nicely here by government. There are multiple sources of information which is published by governmental portals also about Bolt, which is not as easy story to win in English language. And the reputation of Bolt in English language is negative. The story which is being told by AI is negative. So if you have investors now, or if you're looking for customers from abroad, they will search for their needs in their own language. And you think that you can support them with something in your local language and AI will translate. No, it will not work this way. So in order to understand how to win presence in AI conversations, you first need to decompose everything on the atomic level. You need to understand who is your audience, which language do they speak, where AI takes sources for its information to share or to reply in these conversations about whatever you ask. And in multiple countries, your presence strategy or public relations strategy, I don't know if I can tell AI public relation because is there public in AI? There is audience in AI which uses AI, but AI itself is a machine, so now you need to have like machine reputation to build it. So AI reputation in Lithuania is being built with the help of tier 1 news portals. Think of like ERR, EE, for example, in Estonia, then in Lithuania it will be similar. If you go to Latvia, governmental sources are now like #1 for AI to learn about your business, your service, your company, about yourself. If you go to Estonia, academic papers, they are on the first place. So if you want to somehow promote yourself through, try to build maybe joint studies, research, R&D projects between university and your business, and maybe publish then it through academia, because for Estonian language, AI will use this as the main source. So going further, we learned our lessons also for Nordic and Baltic markets, that every market has its dominant source. And it's not just about the language, it's also about the market. To make it even more complex, not every source has the same way. It's not that you can now build the long tail like in search engine optimization, trying to be #1 on long phrases, but 500 of those, which will equal to the traffic coming from #1 short phrase positioned on the first position in Google. So here, for example, Asset, which is a Slovakian cybersecurity company, has many more citations comparing to MOL Group, which is a fuel company. They are also of a different size. But most of citations come from tech blogs and press, which on this market is not enough. For MOL Group, most citations come from regulatory, financial, and governmental sources, which means that they will win on these markets, which on the first place have governmental sources. So to know how to win in AI conversations and how to build your reputation, you need to consider which industry you are playing in, to which audience and in which language do you want to communicate, in which AI models you want to be positioned, and then you need to understand what is the way of every source, which is used as a citation to build this very nice response in AI overview, which is being shared on the position number 1. And now we have these 150 tracking tools for prompt tracking. They call it AI search analytics, or multiple names for this. They are, right? And I had a very big dilemma more than a year ago, because I've spent before more than 20 years in ICT. I'm computer scientist, I'm developer, I'm self-learned businessman. So doing agency business for 15 years with software services. This is my 8th company. And when succession plan succeeded more than a year ago, I was kind of free to think, okay, what the next big thing is. And if anyone knows semantic web, what it is, it was kind of a phrase 15, 20 years ago with these strange graphs and strangely built language that this is a table is checked, it stands on the floor, and around the table there are 4 people, right, which are of this and that characteristics, and then you can build a graph about it. Now you call it Obsidian or other tool you can use. So I was doing PhD in computer science 16 years ago, and one of these topics was optimizing graph structures of semantic web. So no one needed it then. There was no infrastructure, no resources, no LLM models to build on top of this. 1.5 years ago, we had it all. So this is the reason why I'm doing this, actually. So it's hard, it's challenging, and you need to translate to 7-year-old language to chief marketing officers. How should they live in the new world, where 1 million marketers can just lose job in the next 12 to 18 months? 1 million marketers can lose their job in the next 12 to 18 months if they do nothing about AEO, GEO, AI visibility, AI reputation, AI sales channel, AI ad channel, AI revenue channel, AI marketing, whatever it is. So Rank for AI has an impact investor we closed last year with one very brave impact KPI to train 1 million marketeers. So we are training 1 million marketeers on the subjects which are important to understand how should they live in this new world, this new brave world. And this meeting here is a part of this. Is a part of this mission, and the same as the previous one, and we'll have more of those. So part 2 for the poll, if you can help me direct this presentation into whatever we'll see the result is. After what you heard, you have some kind of the business, you have probably a website for this business, or you have the LinkedIn page, or whatever you have. What do you think is wrong with your AI presence?
Perhaps nothing.
Perhaps nothing? Yeah. Okay, that's bold. I can add it. You think, should I add the fifth option?
I think so, yeah.
Okay. That's what I love. Now we are getting serious. Okay. There is possibility to have audience QA. You can add it always here. Type your own question and leave it for later, so we can come back to this. Whatever question you have during the presentation, if you feel shy to interrupt, you can also add your question here through the same link in the Slido. But now we have this fifth option with perhaps nothing. Thank you. Thank you. I will reply for myself, of course. I'm in the majority of answer, also in this group. Honestly, no idea. This was the feeling I had exactly 1 year ago, 6 months ago, 3 months ago, and with every model released. With every new model released. Because you have honestly no idea what you need to do or change when the big player announces their new supermodel. And now they're saying that the old one is deprecated soon, they will cut it off, and now you need to switch to the newer one, where the whole token economy, nuances of vector connections, embeddings, and all of this, they are just changing. So I made a very bold assumption. What if you could regularly influence your brand presence in AI conversations? Meaning that you can publish content regularly, you can provide this for AI bots, so the content can be crawled, because there are like 15 different bots that Google uses to index content in the internet. One bot is for classical Google search index, another bot is for LLM, another bot is for training data, and there are many more bots. It's not just one robot file that you put everything in it and it just works. No. So I thought that if you do it regularly, then the models can train themselves. Then later we learned that training costs $100 to $200 million. That's why the cutoff date of the memory is January 2025, for example, for Gemini. So we are in 16th month after the cutoff date. So maybe soon there will be some big training happening, or maybe it's already happening. And maybe there will be the new cutoff date. And to explain to all of you what does cutoff date means, it's like this concrete floor. Meaning that whatever AI will train itself and learn about your brand, it will be in the concrete floor, because once it's built, the maintenance of this concrete floor is almost free. So with every question you ask to AI, first it tries to use, of course, the memory concrete, because it's free. They already spent money on it. Then the next step is to decide which content to search for in the internet. And this is based on this first part of the story I shared with you. Language, industry, people, all of this, yada, 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 yada. And this happens usually in 1/3 of cases. So 2/3, up to 70% is covered by concrete, by memory, and then the rest one is coming from the live index, live search. So now to think about your reputation, you need not only to optimize, like in search engine optimization times, the current results, but you need also to think about the past and the future. Because something you wrote 15 years ago on your company website is inconcrete. Now you can edit it, you can change the date, you can update the content, and it will be in the next training session if it's different. If you don't touch it, it's still in concrete. At the same time, all the models change constantly. And you need to think which kind of content to publish, how long the story should be. Should it be the case study? Should it be a webinar? Should it be a YouTube video with transcript? What should it be? Should it be a LinkedIn post, maybe Reddit? What else?
Why not all?
Or all of them, of course. Let's do all. Let's go big. Let's spend Cloud Max package just in one day, like this. Why not? And then switch on extra usage and put your credit card there. So it will work. Yeah. So when user asks something AI retrieves the content from Floor or from library or from newspapers and radio, whatever it is. Then AI wants to recommend you something. I'm simplifying now AI, not to go into technical now, but more into sales, marketing, and business. So when AI recommends, it actually searches on this market for the most relevant answer, which is the cheapest one and the most relevant. Cheapest and the most relevant at the same time. Cheapest to pick, to buy from the market. Imagine you are a reporter and you have to write the news for tomorrow or today even, edition of the news. And then you need to run around and find the story which is the cheapest one, right? And then you need to answer to the request. And then it repeats all the time where the new information reinforces the memory from the past. So I don't know if you remember Resident Evil and Mila Jovovich. There is an actress, Resident Evil. Okay, other movies? Someone? Yes, exactly. All right. I know only two. So maybe others? Okay. But what she's popular right now for, anyone knows?
A scam GitHub project.
Okay, you can put it this way. But she got how many thousands of stars on GitHub? GitHub is the repository of code. Open source and closed sourced, but you can keep your code, software code there. And if it's open source, it can become popular. And if it's popular, it can be monetized, maybe, for some cases. So in 3 days, she got like 20,000 stars for memory management system for LLMs so that you can save on tokens and you can talk longer with AI in one session, because that's the pain in the ass, sorry for my English. So I was also a part of this FOMO movement. So, and because I'm the challenger and I'm competitor and challenger, so these are one of my talents, who likes playing paddle, you know it. Paddle is not always a friendly play. You can also play for competition. So I think, no way. Like, how come? She just picked up random developer guy she knows, and they said that they developed something that gets result of like 100%, 96.6% or something. Persistent memory. So you ask the questions after series of 25 or 50 or 100 sentences, or like questions, answers. And then after 50, you ask the same thing from the beginning just to see if LLM still remembers it. To simplify the whole thing with memory. And why is it important? Because to make AI remember something and to reinforce the whole loop, you need somehow to manage a brand DNA or brand memory in AI brain, and to make it still think that you are relevant in this and that concept. So the same evening, I think I was on the trip somewhere. I'm quite often on the trip, and when I'm on the trip, I'm without my wife and kids, what makes me work usually until the morning. The same, yeah, depends. Sometimes I sleep. But I thought, no way, let me test one very pragmatic but working memory management or knowledge management concept. So whoever heard about companies like Honda, 7-Eleven, and some other, or even Kaizen methodology from Toyota. So still, Japanese guys, they know how to implement these loops of knowledge management and exchange between what they think about the product, they take it from the customers, and they implement improvements constantly, right? So I thought, okay, let me do this reinforcement loop with my own memory system, which I use in Cloud Code. Because yes, we use heavily Cloud Code and P-Code and other stuff in our company, not just developers, everyone. And I just make the same test. And 3 out of 4 times we won with this scam memory library published by...
For real.
Yes, I tested it for real. So that specific one against ours. And we won 3 out of 4 times with our memory management system for this. I think I got 7 stars on GitHub or something. So I'm not the star, Mila Jovic, of course. And we, sorry again for my French, we suck in PR and marketing ourselves as a company because we're constantly busy talking to enterprise customers and trying to close them. No time for proper marketing then. If anyone here would like to help us with the proper marketing and think they can win the world with us, so yeah, you're invited to talk to me. Now that's a side topic because what we learned, this knowledge cost us a lot to get, but we know that 67% of what AI says about you actually comes from the knowledge that you can control. You can control your website, you can control your press release, you can control your LinkedIn, you can control all the media that you own, or you can buy. This is also something that you can own because you control the narrative. So how to fill this gap? You can fill it with a proper structure. And the proper structure is like building a navigation map. Whoever remembers what is a deterministic machine, Turing's machine, which was used in old Nokia phones for the interface creation, creating menu for Nokia 3310 or other Nokias. It's actually about building the proper map for AI that will know where to find which information. Where is the hospital in our town, and the town or city is our brand? Where is the school? Where is the library? And this part is quite easy because you can build it with a context. What is not easy is that you will not send students to the fire station and police officers to the school so that you will not mismatch all the navigation paths that you can build for AI. So again, my researcher's curiosity brought me to the experiments about what matters for AI and how to construct the proper AI visibility score. Something that you can find in 150 tools when you are asked to run your URL through them, and they will say that you are visible 47% of times, for example. You know search performance, you know social performance, you can measure it. It's audience, it's reach, it's number of impressions, right? Something else you probably can name. Now, how to explain to business owners, to brand owners, to the board that they are missing AI visibility score without hearing everything what I said before. AI describes brand to buyers. So we want that AI will describe what our brand does and to which buyers. And it will be only describing us to relevant buyers. Where AI recommend competitors instead of us. We would like to know this, of course. So where we are losing or winning. which content gaps cost us deals. Because if you come and you would like to ask, hey, where can I buy this beautiful table, quite mobile one for chess? And then you will get, for example, Decathlon, and Decathlon doesn't sell this kind of chess tables at all. And Decathlon will be mentioned, so you can get frustration out of it. Decathlon can get frustration out of it also, because it's not relevant for the query. Someone will go to Decathlon, would like to buy, and said, hey, but ChatGPT said that I should come here. Come on. So, and then you would like to understand, how does it change, like quarter to quarter, month over month, day after day, whoever is like typing curious, how did things change day over day? So you have a 30-day opportunity to make a very small experiment. And if it's possible, I would love to have some data from this experiment from you, so we can stay in touch through LinkedIn or connect later. We will also mail you with the email and newsletter, etc. First thing you can do is you choose 3 most important prompts which are important for your buyers of your services or products that you offer or the company you work at. And then you run them through multiple models in incognito mode without being logged in, just running it fresh. Then you can try running the same with VPN from different location. Then you can try running the same in different language with the same meaning and collect these results. You can publish one insight-rich case, meaning you delivered something to customer. So go to your customer and ask, hey, what did I deliver to you, dear customer? And hear what the customer will reply, or your customer base, about the service or the product. Then use these sentences and words to build the case study, what you as a company delivered to this and that customer. And then publish it fresh on your owned media. You can even release press release, you can even buy ad placement somewhere with this content. That's the second thing you can do. The third thing you can do, you should find your weakest territory. This is not easy task. If you are a big company and you sell everything like Motonet or Prisma or someone else, how do you know what is your weakest territory? There are multiple products, thousands of products, tens of thousands of products in e-commerce businesses. If you are in niche, it's a bit easier because usually you're limited to just 1 or 2 or 3 segments. So this one you can do with the help of Rank4AI also. I will make a live demo thing just to show how usually you work with AI visibility. Or you can do it manually, which will require, of course, a little bit of more effort and understanding how to build the whole thing. It's possible. It just took us 14 months and 13 people now. So 30 days. It's doable to improve one thing. 30 days. We started from 0 as a Rank4AI with our visibility. And it took us around 2 months to start being visible in first prompts. In Perplexity or in ChatGPT or in Gemini. So first we started eating our own food, of course. So now I'm curious, which of the tasks you think you can deliver in these 30 days? Even such simple as shipping LLMS file on your website, which is the simplest possible navigation guide for your website. By the way, it should not. It doesn't matter if it's called LLMS.txt. It's just the human invented thing, which people agreed that they will name it like this. It doesn't make any difference for AI if it's called LLMS.txt or if it's called README if you are AI or if it's anything else. It's important what is inside and how it's built. Short disclosure, there is one option apply to Be Visible cohort. This is something that we will be launching as a part of our educational mission, combined also with a business mission. So you are actually the first one in this room to hear about this initiative. But this is a commitment. It's not an easy thing. It's a commitment. So what I am doing usually, I'm often running myself these 3 prompt tests. What I'm usually doing, I'm fixing weakest territories. Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, results will be coming. So the presentation plus the follow-ups, news, access to webinars, invited guests, member-only offers, and private channel. You can chat in a safe community. You can join this Be Visible Club, which we are launching. Just simple form. It will be also available later. Be Visible Club is not just Estonian-based, it's pan-European, I would say, because we are launching it in Tallinn, Helsinki, Riga, in Warsaw, maybe next cities. You have opportunity to change your visibility in the next 12 to 18 months. So now I'll switch to, this will be available also later, I'll switch to showcasing something about real application of visibility optimization. So let me take one well-known brand, Wise. I think everyone in this room knows the brand. If not, they are the now financial institution, I would say probably, but fintech solution provider, Estonian unicorn. So they are doing pretty well with their reputation, with their index. So about methodology, to learn about AI visibility score, you need to actually answer to these questions to understand, are you included in the scores, in the answers? Does AI understand the value? Do you have the proper content structure? And then you test it on multiple prompts which are relevant for the industry, which are very, very, I would say long tail, but very specific. And you have all the knowledge in one place with competitors detected or other brands detected. If you know this, you can build technically the representation of how AI sees the brand, the DNA of the company.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I feel like a Jen from IT crowd, but a quick one. Because Wise also operates across different markets as well, and you also mentioned, how do you actually...
This one is for English language.
So it's just,
this one is for English language, yes. This one was for English language.
Not country markets, but language markets. But what I'm talking about is Wise operates in different markets, not language-specific ones.
Yeah. So with reputation index study, you can visit it in Open Rank for AI and look after Wise. This was a cross-language study for CEE, across multiple languages. Languages, exactly, languages. And you can be in any other country and ask still in different language, right? So brand DNA map, this is the territory, this is the navigation. This is something that Gemini thinks you are a part of. And then we actually know from which URLs it uses information to build the image about the brand. For Estonian one, let's talk about Hyundai. Let me just switch to Hyundai. You can see that this one, Estonian Hyundai, is different. It also multilingual, so Estonian Hyundai page has both Russian and Estonian language used. And for AI, it's very important that you have both in the same market, because then you know how to service your customers. You can see immediately how the Russian URLs are understood and composed, so this is not something that is easy for people to understand, but AI will not have a problem actually with these ones. If you know what is the brand, you know who is your ICP, who is your persona, who is you talking to. So you can disclose and discover both B2B and B2C brands, switching to something more understandable by English language audience. HBO. HBO is the competitor of Netflix. Here you can see that different people are the customers of HBO, and they have different goals, different pain points, different needs, and different queries they're looking for. And when you know this, you can understand what are the gaps, what is missing. You can do it, everything you can do manually, like really being a researcher, sitting down with a paper methodology and just writing yourself everything. Where the magic happens. The magic happens when you can actually get the insights about your audience and understand what is their profile, what is their demography, what is their gender, and what are preferred channels they will receive information from. Something that is not possible to actually get without remarketing, retargeting, tracking, and everything else you have in the classical digital channel. And now you would like to optimize it. So let's use Visibility Booster. Just taking one persona, one territory, and then delivering content assets which follow the brief and the need, and they know how long they should be, they know what kind of proof points they need to have, and you receive the content which is ready to copy, paste, and place in AI. Of course, everything is editable. Someone who is into SEO will also have everything here prepared for publishing it publicly, but remember about the feedback loop. Why should we public content publicly if we want to optimize AI search, AI conversations, not visits on the website? So, should we go to feedback loop? If we are in the feedback loop, we can actually select the content, paste the URL to which this content should then lead. Remember AI overviews, there are small sources. None here, okay. AI mode. Search in live. URLs, here, here, here. These are sources which are used to create the story in AI. You can point to anything you want. Then you can optimize any persona that you want, any territory, and then send this package to the content layer, to AI, as we do it. It requires technical setup. So we are the very first one in the world to release pixel technology for AI that you can connect like Google Analytics and then track what is happening through website to AI conversation and back, providing all the support needed for this. And if you would like to explore, for example, competitors, so I was asking before with our dice roller methodology, what TV show you recommend for a founder of fast-growing startup like us? You can see who is winning. Netflix is winning. And where is HBO? And a week ago, I had a meeting with HBO, with Warner Bros. They want to be there. They want to be mentioned here, always. And you can dive deeper and understand who you are competing with in AI. And then you can understand why it is so. What is the reasoning behind AI, brain, that it recommends this or that company? And you can dig even deeper and see all the brands mentioned, all the shows, all the competitors, to get something like this that you can use for your content strategy, for example. So semantic web is real. It's possible. It's all about connecting the dots. And you can start connecting these dots for yourself, or join the Be Visible Club also, and then try to connect these dots with us. Because this is part of the mission that I have. This is my 8th company. I'm just one to do something that I enjoy doing, and this is a big thing that too few people know how to do it. So visibility is being built between coffees, as we say. So at the beginning, I tried to meet and greet every of you just to understand who you are. I'm also physically like in Tallinn present, so it's important for me to know people and to know who is close to and who can help also us and whom we can help to. So if you want to get these slides, you can scan this QR code. If you want to join also the Visible Club, the next coffee we will announce through the newsletter. Well, will happen, I think, somewhere in May, in the mid-May. It will be the morning meeting where everyone can chat and mingle, and we will have some insights also sharing. This is my second workshop I'm running in this formula. So every next one is different than the previous one because of you. So I'm learning from all of you. Questions, all the questions, all the topics. Yes, please.
Yeah, thank you. Very insightful. You mentioned that the product would discover the preferable channel for HBO example for the specific ICP. What's the mechanics behind that?
The position for marketer is still open. You can join the team and we can share then more about the mechanics. So mechanics, simplifying things, really like simplifying things. If you discover persona properly, so for example, Daniel, part of our Rank for AI team, not a technical person. No, he's already, I think. But he starts conversation with AI. Hey, I had a 16-hour gig in the company last night. I'm absolutely exhausted, but I don't want to sleep. I want to spend time with my wife. Today evening, maybe just watching Netflix and eating fries, who knows? And he would ask it to AI, right? And AI will recommend, yeah, you have choices. Here is Netflix, here is HBO, etc. And he uses AI almost daily. So AI starts profiling Daniel from the very first sentence. AI starts profiling Pavel from the very first sentence and anyone else. You are being profiled all the time with everything you ask. So if you are profiled, you leave characteristics about yourself generally. They are encoded in every word. Embedding means, right, in AI language, we have embeddings. And every content which HBO publishes is also an embedding. And it has its smell. And his content also has its smell. So now if you find the least possible distance between his request and the content that HBO has, you can serve the proper answer, and AI will go the way which is the shortest path possible to bring it there to him. And it will say properly, because HBO knows its audience. They will say, okay, audience 25, 35, young man without kids. Probably he enjoys this, and that. He uses Samsung Smart TV maybe, or some other solution, and he uses app. He connects remotely just to you do mirror your pad or mobile to TV. So what will be the recommendation then? What do you think? It will just construct something that takes into consideration his profile, HBO's, Netflix, and others' smells, right, or characteristics, and choose which one is the closest one to serve, and just sort it out to the moment where it's enough just to reply with content. That's why for different industries, for different audience, B2B or B2C, reply length is also different, and the narrative is also different, because LLM doesn't understand the language it writes. It just predicts. It's math. So if you like solving NP hard problems, multiple vector dimensions, optimizing them, reducing them, a lot of heuristics, a lot of math again. So it was there 30 years ago. It's still there. Nothing changed specifically. Just different Lego bricks were connected differently, and now we have AI to have a conversation with math. So it's just a different way to have conversation with math. Sure, go on, Pavel.
It's not that the model will tell, okay, this user specifically prefers HBO.
No.
You're saying if HBO prepares better than the others,
Yeah.
then the model would say,
Yeah.
prefers, which is actually not probably reality in the real world, right? So because it needs to be the market research done based on specifically this user preference.
So to give you an example, for one prompt, on average, there are tens of gaps for every brand. Meaning if you are asking about the series to watch, there are 40 other subjects you need to cover so that you will strengthen your message. And this will be very different topics. So to optimize for AI, you need to prepare for one prompt around 40 different pieces and put them in the structure and connect them properly, like a map, like a guide, because there are multiple ways and multiple paths. Daniel asks in Russian, I would ask in Polish or in English, you will ask in whatever, German maybe, right? The same question, and you have one map, right? So map is multilingual, map has multiple paths, because you may start with you being exhausted, and you may start, hey, I want to have fun this evening and watch something interesting. But the end result is the same. Because you both actually are profiled similarly, and you will both receive the same recommendation. But you start from different, your journey starts from different points. So you start journey from A, you start journey from B. But the end result is center, right? And you need to find the ways to get there. So you need to build the pathways. And whoever built the pathway better, quicker, more optimal, using proper language on the proper market and distributing it through the proper infrastructure, quicker, right? Also, they will win. And of course, for small local brands, it's hard. But small local brands can win differently. If you are a local pizzeria or local legal company or accounting company in Tallinn, Tartu, or whatever, You know your customers, you know your audience. Start with properly describing pains, needs, queries, having interviews with your customers, and then transfer this knowledge into our tool or maybe other solution, and then basing on that, create content, which will perfectly align to your customers. So if I cross everything what I said and I would leave just one thing, I would say, know your customers. It's still the same. KYC. So know your customer like we did 20, 30 years ago with user focus groups, with usability studies, with Nielsen, Norman group, with old books on how you actually discover, like you're a product guy, right? So you need to discover what are the needs and pains of the audience and translate it into the product features. So the schema or the pattern is similar. The way to get there is different, just because tools changed, right? Whoever understands it, and I would say that now is a renaissance of head of communication, PR people, people with 20 plus years of experience. So if people who are 50 plus, they are of amazing value for every industry if they have experience in this industry, because they were probably most of their life close to real human beings. So that for them, it's much easier to come to someone and start conversation, or to run a user focus group, or to have an interview. So translate all the needs into upload into the platform, because you can also upload persona profiles and just click calculate, and then it will calculate everything, and then you know, okay, this is the distance, these are the gaps. Okay, click generate content. Okay, click publish it to AI layer. Okay, now let me observe statistics. But the most important work you do before with your ICP, with your persona. And that would be the answer to your question.
Yeah, so it's still biased, but...
Yeah, of course. Life is biased, sorry. Life is biased.
Like, since the system is quite deterministically orchestrated, but my question is regarding like sentiment biases from the person inserting the prompt, and also as like a sentiment bias score, just like the way you have a visibility score. Like, of course, the large language models do have biases in the way they're trained as well. So how do you factor all these like intricate things in the whole system to make it really accurate?
I'm happy to hear this question. We are building the aircraft while steering the aircraft, and there are so many things to solve. And the bias, you have multiple biases. It starts with the confidence bias on the human side, where you come with ICP and you say, these are best ICPs for my business. How do you know it? Is it data-driven, knowledge-driven, wisdom-driven? Have you run any experiment? Is it your previous experience-driven, or is it your current study-driven? So the bias starts at the very moment where you confirm or you edit or you enter the persona to the system. The next bias, it's already happened. You have 100 blog posts or news on your website. That's another bias, because this bias already happened. It's in concrete. So you trained, right? So it's absolutely fully biased on every possible way. And that's beautiful, because when we buy stuff ourselves, we usually do a biased decision. Not too many people in the world buy stuff running research before they buy stuff, real one. You like thing, or there is a birthday, or your lack of time, or you just have money, or you don't have. You're biased constantly.
So you could like use maybe synthetic content to manipulate the AI into your favor as a brand.
To influence, yes. to influence, to train. As we are as kids in school, we get books from the government to study stuff about history, about physics, which I learned being at PhD that I should forget all the physics I learned before because it's all false. Now I need to learn the new physics, which is only for PhD up level. So bias is everywhere.
So I got a question about the bias solving thing. You probably know about auto research by Andrei Karpathy. Now there's an auto reason, so you can make the blind judges and different AIs that are without that old context, and that's how you can get, look, LLMs will give you the answer that you want to hear because they want to do the least effort, or if you ask them, give me some critique, it will find something because you asked for it. So
yeah,
and there
sounds like communism. Yeah, there is always a paragraph to put somewhere in jail.
So and there exists this auto research, auto reason to implement. My question is like, how would that fit into the future AI workflow or into your workflow?
Yeah, we should brainstorm about it. Maybe.
So you don't produce this AI slop. I mean, I personally do the copy for the website. For the language.
We produce content like synthetic one to influence AI, also for brands, for enterprises.
In the loop, right?
In the loop, also, yes, yes.
Judges, and then you pick one.
Judgment is happening on the human level right now. So you as a human being have access to statistics to see which content was accessed more times by which bot to make the idea about one or another topic, and then you can switch it on or switch it off with our technology live, actually, if you are not happy. So you can switch off the content which doesn't perform, you can keep the content which performs. So you are building your long-term reputation, which will go into concrete this way, which then builds all the basics and foundations for running AI-based context ads. As you can name them, influence, manipulation, whatever, ads manipulate our life, yes. So if you understand that you can actually, we just understood it 3 weeks ago, being very frank, that with everything we built, we just take the same bricks and put it differently, and we create the organic AI context-based ad layer. Like this, yeah. So trying right now to figure out what to do next with this one. Yeah, finding.
Thank you. No, thank you for the presentation. That was actually wonderful. What I'm beginning to realize is this actually fundamentally changes how marketers work and approach their work. I know you started from the KPI, and the reason why I asked about markets as well is that, and I understand that the semantics around influencing versus manipulation, but to be fair, we all configure our bots anyway. Like if we do ask anything from any of our prompts, we do ask them to tailor their response so that it becomes palatable for us anyway. How do you then do that? How do you retrain marketers? Because they fundamentally have to switch their brain into a completely different mode to operate in the world that you're at the moment sharing.
Thanks. First things first, simplify their life first, because marketers are constantly busy with projects. They are demanded to deliver on time, within budget, and for demanding customers who pay money. And they need to constantly optimize and compete and deliver. Otherwise, the budget will be cut, or we'll need to reduce the team, or we'll lose this important customer, whatever. So we first thought, okay, we will create 42 playbooks, different playbooks for marketers. And for marketing agencies also, so they know how to start responding to customers who come and say, hey, can you do for us something in AI? And they have no idea like what they can do in AI besides writing copy for the website or email or something else, or running automations or Clay, or it's already like the senior level, right? So simplifying, okay, workshops is one thing, building community another thing. If there are more people in the room who share similar challenges, it's much easier to find solutions to these challenges. And for us, it's much easier also to deliver features, workflows, playbooks to marketers so that they are supported. And that's why the decision that we made that we should first, unfortunately, start with big marketing agencies, PR agencies, communication agencies, enterprise customers with their CMO and their marketing teams, because this is the biggest leverage we can have from the very, very start. So we went after number 1, 2, and 3 agency in each of CEE markets and Nordic markets, so that they can already learn how to treat these requests, then how to open the new revenue channel for their company, because profits are melting year over year. And the market is getting tougher. And now zero-click thing is happening. So companies require, brands require results, sales, impressions, whatever. But now people make decisions in AI conversation. And then they go to store and you even don't know that this is happening, right? So that's how we created our partnership program for marketing agencies, for PR agencies, for communication agencies. And through them, with these people, we've been, with their feedback also, improving the product, improving the offering. They're very generous. Also, people from SEO companies, from performance companies, they also joined and shared the feedback, so that we can get better with content generation, we can get better with persona discovery. So it's thanks to people like you that, asking questions, sharing, okay, now we know that you don't understand something, then we will create something so you understand it, right? And then we distribute it through a newsletter or through webinar or through workshop, And we also help win customers. So yes, we are very often invited to meetings to help agencies sell AI to C-level decision maker, because they don't know how to explain things, how to talk about it, etc. Right?
You also mentioned a few times ads for LLM. And how do you see like this whole ops impacting current? Are there ads for LLMs at the moment, or how can it?
Everyone knows that OpenAI tested ads in the US, and they are testing, and they already launched bidding for cost per click. But all the ads are marked as sponsored and as ads, so you know that this is ad. So they are actually repeating the same mistaken will, as I call it, that you know that it's ad, why should I click in this thing? But others will bid and pay for this to just be there, because competitors should not be there, I should be there. Old game of constant competition. So I thought again differently. Everyone goes like one way, I'll go another way, and think, okay, how can we make it contextual? So this is the part of response and conversation as a part of response that AI otherwise grabs from citation, or from the website, or from media, or from government, or it is in concrete already, because then you don't need to pay. Once you are in concrete, cool, I'm there, right? So I invested money, I want to stay there. Because with Google search, with ads, with Google ads, and all this AdWords, AdSense, etc., you stop paying, you're not there, you're paying, you are there. So I always hated this model like myself, right? So why should I pay and without return on investment then, which will stay with me? It's like rent an apartment forever and that's it. Someone else is earning money. Traditional ads would not be, in my opinion, a part of memory, concrete, whatever. You will just be placed in the context. So the context of conversation will be used to profile you and to show you the ad. The same old technology which is there. Google has this technology. OpenAI had to invent this for themselves, right? Microsoft also has this technology from Bing. By the way, their AI visibility in analytics sucks totally. They launched it as a beta. It's crap, but someone launched it, right? So, because they're Microsoft, so yeah. So ads, yes. Happily, we are in Europe, in European Union, to be more precise, where we have AI Act, we have GDPR. This both already covers, and then we have the Health Data IoT Act, I call it, that every device which stores any data should make all the data available to every user of this at any time they request. Meaning that using this data inappropriately is a very tricky thing because you can get huge fines which are revenue-based, not profit-based. So huge fines in the European Union. That's why our strategic decision was to start in European Union, because we do contextual things. And we require human beings to make decisions. So it's your decision. You click, you publish, you automate, you decide, you save, you enter, you modify, you analyze your own website or your competitor's website. Who knows what you analyze, but it's your decision.
I have a question. So,
Google also is trying AI ads into IoT.
In USA, you can try whatever you want. Yeah, they are trying because, yeah. It's very complex. They created a big team of AI ads in London, which is not a part of European Union anymore, I think a year ago, to figure out how to make this thing. So, yeah, they invest into this.
At the moment, there's no correlation, right?
No, no. Link, no, at all. Zero.
So if I have like 10K to splash, and for the early efficiency, I still rather run ads rather than optimize my LLM visibility.
Depends if you're in niche, it's one thing. Secondly, it depends if you already have strong reputation or not. And thirdly, it depends if you're smart to use reputation of your competitors, because we also know how to do it. That you can actually use, it's like David and Goliath. We call it the Trojan horse strategy, that you are inside the one who is big, but actually you use them to enter through the existing space. It's also doable, but it's all on the content layer. Everything is on the content layer. It's just how you structure this. Which competitors do you include into your narrative? You know this thing with competitors, people are afraid of comparing themselves publicly because they think that they are promoting competitor. Ahrefs broke this some months ago. They were literally putting all the listicles with their competitors, and they were even including them into the whole narrative that they have because they're smart. Right? So you can do the same. You can be small, but use competitors' power to be included.
if you have to consolidate to one metric based on all the customers and data you can gather, like what metric would that be?
Reputation index. Yeah, rank for index, reputation index. Because we came with rank for index 2 weeks ago, something like that. First, we had for almost 9 months just visibility score. But we found through the research that there is second one, and two are important, but if I should keep just one, it would be reputation index.
Coming back to what you were speaking about, reputation management. First off, you understand the client or the customer. Then you understand prompts they're using. And then based on the data, you supply the information. Now, as you said, the most important KPI is reputation management. And the way you create it is with the content. But if the content is created by AI and there's no quality check other than just looking at the metrics on which generated content was the best, how do you ensure quality and reputation management?
It's in a grounded mode, because reputation index is not based on the generate. Okay, you can run your whole marketing team. It could be your decision that you don't have a marketing team, copy team, etc. And every content you publish about your brand is synthetic. It's your decision. In reputation index, what is important is that you see what is the citation share in it. It's not just the synthetic content in it, and what is the way of every source which cites you. So now your reputation is actually moved or cloned from the, let's say, printed media or digital media world into AI world, and it's like the mirror of it. So reputation can be two-sided. One side is what is reputation of me as a brand being mentioned in media like Postimees, Äripäev, or other media, or Business Review, or whatever, TechCrunch it is. But another side of it, what is the reputation of TechCrunch, Business Insider, the Wall Street Journal, Äripäev, Postimees, and others? What is their reputation? Because you are codependent. They mention you. Sometimes they mention you based on your content. Sometimes they mention you without your content. They are third media. They are third party. You don't own their media. And then you have your own reputation. And then AI, when it stitches responses, it uses both. It can use both your own content, and it can use also content created by this media. And then every source has its different reputations, like PageRank of domain, right? Yeah.
I guess I have a simpler question then.
Thanks. My brain is already kind of overheating, but I'm still using my GPU power. Yeah, okay.
A simple one. So, as the emergence of AI, information supply is over the roof. Meaning, one of the biggest things Google and search engines deal with is exactly the reputation of the information. So, if everyone does kind of generate that synthesized content, the probability that will be penalized is really high. Mm-hmm. So the actual ones that are generated by humans or touched by humans do the best.
You're right. And this was my second recommendation for you in these 3 tasks to do in 30 days. So you go to your customer and you ask them why and what did they buy from you? What is the service or the product? What is their experience, etc. And then you publish it as a case using their language, not your. Yeah.
Now I got a question, but you have the automatic generation of content.
Oh yeah, of course. Which is editable. You can edit it. Yeah. Yeah, you can edit it. You can put your own data inside, and there are even places where you can put them. And it gives you the structure, exactly. It gives you the structure, it gives you the template, the pattern, and then it's up to you how you design your own apartment inside. It's like, this is a big difference between Estonian real estate market and Polish real estate market. In Poland, you buy apartment, which is a developer mode apartment, meaning it has any tiles or wood or doors, even, like, it's just blank, and you can do whatever you want inside. But when you go here and you want to buy an apartment, it's almost, usually you have 3 packages to choose, and then, okay, this one is like this, and 10 other families in the same house has exactly like this, right? So this is the thing that you can influence with your own custom content the automatic loop, because you choose every month. How we do it that we do not allow you to publish more often than once per month. And you need to pick it right, which content pieces go into the content box. And every piece costs money. Ah, yeah. Of course, yeah.
So I have a skill, dislog the copy in GitHub you can use, so it removes the M dashes, the words like seamless, that crap. So
Oh, we use it also, I think. The ones to humanize or something, yeah.
Humanizer and Solid, because they were not good enough, so yeah. But I also have like 7 stars like you.
Oh, yeah. I love this discussion, really. I think we're going over time, but maybe one last question, and then all the questions you can ask through LinkedIn or Q&A or whatever on Slido it was. So one last question anyone would like to, or even not a question, whatever you want to say.
I have a quick one. So like you mentioned that optimizing the websites for different AI searches and so on, but is the same logic for every model? Because Gemini is different, OpenAI is different.
Different logic. Different logic, because in every model, the brand DNA is different. And personas are different. OpenAI thinks that your brand is targeting this group. Gemini thinks that your brand is targeting that group.
But how do you handle this? Like when you help you?
We handle this. Like, it's handleable.
You can just switch between different models and then you can see the same picture. The whole platform does with another platform.
It's handleable. Different because they are different from the structural level, from embeddings. For example, this is Swedbank in OpenAI eyes. With multiple signals, there is stronger territory and weaker territory. And in Gemini, the territory is different. And personas is also different. These are personas in Gemini. They are better covered, actually, with the existing content of Swedbank. With OpenAI, different personas, different coverage. So, yeah. And then different content is being produced in a different pattern. No reason to support, for us at least, and for our customers more in European Union, no. We made some tests with Grok also. We use Perplexity for our own research study, reputation ones that we do. But for now, actually, these are two which cover 90, probably 6% of cases. Only nerds use Claude. Sorry. I'm from this generation who used the word nerd. Fine. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Great questions, great audience. Yeah.